Hello everybody. So today I'm going to show you how to do a do-it-yourself 5-minute French manicure. See, I have a YouTube channel, Paper Bead Rollers, and I do jewelry tutorials. So I spend a lot of the time with my fingers right up in front of the camera, which means that I need to have pretty nails, or at least nails that look finished. So I like to have a French manicure, because I think the French manicure is nice. The colors do not clash with the projects I'm working on. It always looks the same. It's kind of my signature thing. So I'm going to show you how to do this yourself, because you can bet that I don't have the money or the time to be running to the manicurist every time I'm going to film a tutorial. Not going to happen. So I have a way of doing this myself. It's very quick, it's very easy, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So what do you need? The first thing you need are some paper towels. You will need some type of a paintbrush. You can use all different kinds. I kind of like the flat edge ones, this size, a little wider. I've used smaller ones. They're a little more difficult. You can also use the big softer ones, work nicely. These are pretty hard bristles, but this is just what I have today. You will need some nail polish remover and some type of a small dish or cup to put the nail polish remover in for this project. And you will need some white nail polish and some clear. And you can do this however you want. You can actually do this with any color, and you can coat it with clear or pink or whatever kind of overcoat you would like. Okay, so that is what you need. So the first thing that you're going to do is pour some of the into your cup. You don't need a whole lot, just enough so that you can soak your brush in it, and we're going to let that soak while we do this next part. Take your white. I don't like to shake mine too hard, but I turn it just to make sure it's all mixed up well. And what you're going to do is go ahead and brush this on. Now, one thing you'll notice is nails are different lengths. See, there's a couple really short nails over here and some that are longer. This technique allows you to create an illusion that all of your nails are long, even though they're not. So here's how you do that. So first is you just want to go ahead and put on the white and take it down below your actual nail bed line. So see how I'm going much lower, like there's my nail bed line. I'm going much lower than my nail bed line. Partially because we're going to be taking off some of this white with our paintbrush in a minute, but also because again, that's the illusion part. It gives your nails the illusion that they are much longer than they actually are, because the white part is longer than your normal nail. So you don't have to be too neat about this in terms of like the line that you're making there at the bottom, but I will tell you, the more consistent that line, the easier this technique is to get right. Okay, and then my thumb is my last one here. A little too much white on there. So I try not to have any big differences. That'll do. So I'm going to let this sit for just a minute. Not too long, but just a second to firm up a little. If it's too wet, it'll smear a little bit. We don't want it to smear. And then I'm going to make sure my brush is well saturated. Okay. And then all you do is take the brush with the nail polish remover and you just gently go over your nail until you create a pretty line, and then wipe off your brush. Same with this one. Just rub back and forth until you create a pretty line. Make sure you keep wiping off the brush, because the white will build up on the brush and it will smear on your nail, and it will get on the skin at the sides of your fingers and make a mess. Now you can clean it off, sure, but it's just easier if you don't have to, right? I mean, why make more of a mess than you need to? If you have ridges in your nails, you can see I actually do. Oh, see, a little bit of white is getting in there. So I'm going to do a better job of cleaning this. See the little white that's not coming off right below my line? That's also because I do have some ridges in that nail. You might want to buff your nails first, because if you have ridges in your nails, that will make it harder for you to get a nice smooth line. All right, so look at that. Those look like they're pretty much all the same width. Getting the white to match. You don't want a thin white nail on one finger and then a thick white nail on the other finger, or one to be significantly thicker than the rest. You want to have a fairly consistent white to them. So let's see, I think I had a little bit of, there we go, a little bit of cleanup on this guy. And you can just do that with your brush. Just get in there. Or if you'd rather do it with like a piece of cotton and an orange stick, you can. Whatever makes sense to you. Right there, I think. Okay. And that's it. And if you mess one up, you know, just take it off and go back and redo it. Then, before this even completely dries, now you want to make sure that the nail polish remover is gone because it will weaken. I recommend doing at least 2 coats of clear. Make sure mine's coming up right. There we go. So here's the tip for getting your polish all the way up to your cuticle but without going over. What you want to do is lay the brush down before your cuticle and then push forward. So let me do this. And it's clear nail polish, so it's hard to see, I know. But you push and pull. Push and pull. So you lay the brush down slightly ahead of where you actually want it to go and push. And then also make sure you cover the tip of your nails, because with this French manicure especially, you'll get chipping at the tips if you don't do an extra nice job of covering it. So push and pull, push and pull, push and pull, and then get that. I'm going to lay it down slightly forward, push and pull, push and pull, get the tip, push and pull, tip, and but that way when you do the push technique here, you don't get the nail polish right up on the cuticle. You can stop just shy of your cuticle line, and that's what gives you that nice professional look. You do not want your polish on your cuticle. Okay. Most of the time, I actually didn't get quite enough here. I'm gonna go over this again because I want a nice smooth coat on my thumb. I do go pretty generously with the clear. And then I'm gonna let this sit for a second and do a second coat of clear on it. So we'll let this dry for a minute. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do my second coat of clear. It will definitely last longer, twice as long with 2 coats, for me anyway. The manicure does last longer than that if I do 2 coats. I also recommend doing one hand, letting it dry before you do the other hand, just because it's really easy to smear this when you're trying to use the paintbrush, especially because I am right-handed and left hand and have anything on my left hand. When I try to do my right hand, it'll smear. It'll get smeared. So look at that difference. Huge difference. There we go. And you can tell if you look closely that these 2 fingers are shorter, but it's not as obvious as it would be.